Recording in progress.
It's been so hot in San Diego. Hot in San Diego is like 80 to 90 degrees. Everybody talks about how hot it is. Thank you, God, for just another day. Thank you for everything. Such a blessing, such a blessing, such a blessing. All right, here we go. Today I want to talk about a lot of people say, man, I never heard from God. I never seen anything from God. I don't know if there is a God. Um, I don't know how healing works with God. I don't know how any of the powers of God works or the gifts of God works or the fruit of God. How do you use all these Holy Spirit gifts? When you're a believer, you get the Holy Spirit and it seals you, and that's God living in you. That's the most profound thing ever, is that God is actually inside of you, which is so beyond human comprehension. What that really means and what that can mean for you if you really understand it or believe it, or if you grow to the knowledge of it. And so I want to show you guys how to get the presence of God, how to see God around you, how to heal people, how to do deliverance on people. Like, you don't need to go across town to find the deliverance man or to find somebody that heals people. You could do it yourself because you have the Holy Spirit in you. And so Psalms 100 is like my go-to to teach people, how to get the presence of God on them. Moses talked about it, seeing God face to face. Other prophets and people in the Bible talked about bringing his presence down. Jesus said to pray for there to be heaven on earth when he taught people how to pray, to ask for that every time. It is something that's serious that um, you could be raised in church your whole life and nobody ever come across this knowledge or talk about it, which is kind of wild. But I'm here to tell you guys. So we're going to read Psalms 100. That's talking about the presence, how to get into the presence of God, right? Number one, shout for joy to the Lord, all the earth. Worship the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful songs. Know that the Lord is God. It is he who made us, and we are his. We are his people, the sheep of his pasture. So this right here is telling you, okay, how do you get into the presence of God? Right here. Come to him in gladness, worship him with joyful songs. Know that God made us, right? And when I'm preaching like on Thursdays, outdoors, I always tell people, I always start out saying, thank you, God, so much. And some people, in the ministry that come all the time, they kind of don't feel like to be thankful. They might be homeless, they might be struggling with the job, they might be on drugs, they might be on all this stuff, but I just tell them, like, be thankful for your eyes, be thankful for your mouth, be thankful, you know, for your hands and toes and feet. I go over almost the whole physical body, and then I say, be thankful that your mind is still here, because some of them still got perfect minds. And then I get down to be thankful that you're breathing, because if you're not breathing, I mean, 1, 2, 3 minutes of not breathing, you're dead. So that's one thing that everybody has in common that you can teach people to be thankful for, is that they're breathing. Because until you reach the day to where you're not breathing good, or you're having trouble breathing where you got to go to the hospital, you don't really understand how great and awesome it is to be able to breathe. Because it's something that as a kid we just started breathing, and nobody has to teach you how to breathe, right? Even though I teach you how to breathe, it's funny, right? Lonnie teaches us how to breathe, but automatically we're going to breathe enough to live, right? But automatically the body doesn't breathe enough to have enough oxygen to be like superhumans or be on the next level of being a human, to where we can do a lot of things because of our breathing patterns. All right, let's go to the next part. In this kind of is like saying the same thing twice. So on number 4, it says, enter his gates with thanksgiving. Okay, where's his gates at? Why would it say enter his gates with thanksgiving? What would the gates be? Think about if you were to visit me, right? You would have to go through the gates. I live in a gated community. So if you want to visit Lonnie, you got to go through the gates. But are you really with me just when you enter the gates? Right? It's like you entered my gates, but you're not in my house yet. So how do we enter the gates? How do we get into the neighborhood of God? Right? Enter his gates with thanksgiving. So we got to have thanksgiving. And what is thanksgiving? This word right here means to be gratitude, to be super thankful. See, that's why a lot of people don't ever reach the promised land in the world, right? Let's say people still go to heaven because they believe in Jesus, but a lot of people don't live in the promised land. They don't live in what God really wants them to have, prosperity for your future. You know, he wants good things for you, not bad things. But some people are living in the bad things. Why? Because they don't have prosperity. Why? Because they're complainers. It talks about it during Moses' time. It talks about it during Abraham's time. So if you read throughout the Bible, there's a lot of complaining going on in the Bible, and people don't reach their destiny because of that. People don't reach their destiny. Wow, that's a big thing to chew down. But people don't reach the destiny on earth. And it happened, you know, the greatest story about that. It's all over the Bible if you study the Bible. It's everywhere. Every time people complain, it actually talks about it during Moses' time where God hates complaining. You know, Moses talks about when people started complaining to him, he said, man, just take me now, God. I don't even want to be here anymore. You know, and that's the number one thing I believe that will hurt humans in their walk with God is when they start complaining. When they stop thanking God for the things that they really have and start complaining about the things that they think they don't have or the things that they want and they start complaining about it. You know, at the end of the time, God told Moses, he said, everybody in your generation has to die out before the people enter the promised land. And you know, if you read the story, you'll see over and over and over again, they start complaining. One time they started complaining, they tried to the Quorum rebellion. They try to take over Moses' leadership and Aaron's leadership, his brother, and you know, God opens up the earth on them. Another time they started complaining, God rains down fire on them. Another time when they started complaining, God put poisonous snakes and it started biting them. And then there was a snake on a pole Moses had to put, and then people were healed from that. The last time is when they couldn't even enter the promised land. They went to the promised land, right around it, and Moses had 12 spies. They all went and looked at the land. 10 of them came back and were scared and terrified. They're too big for us. We can't overtake them. The other two that went there came back, and one of them became the leader of them, Joshua. But they came back and said, we could take them. We got God on our side. But who do you think people listened to? The 10 people that said it was too dangerous or the 2 people that said it was, you know, it's easy for us? Well, what happened was they agreed with the 10 people. So they moved backwards instead of taking over that land. And then they moved. This is what people don't really teach people. They moved into even a dangerouser place. And they got attacked from all sides when they moved. All they had to do is take over this little bitty land, you know, that had a wall around it, and then they have to go back the other way, and then they have the lowest position. They're on the bottom of the valley, and people are up on top, and they're just terrorizing them and taking them down. So it was worse for them to go back, and I don't think people really explain that to people that it was worse that they didn't just take over that land. You know, and then Moses got so frustrated, God told him to hit this rock because they started going through a lot of stuff at this time. They couldn't even drink water. And so Moses hit this rock out of anger. God told him, hey, hit this rock again. He already did it before. The water's going to come through it. And he got angry and hit it. And it was a whole different story. And then God told Moses, you can't even enter the promised land. So they had to wait. Then they came around the promised land and they overtook it by just walking around it. And the walls fell down and the people were so scared they ran off. So with God on your side, but what does it say? You got to be thankful. Stop complaining. The one thing that people don't like is complainers around them. Trust me, even yourself, if you're a complainer, you sometimes you end up not even liking yourself. So enter his gates with thanksgiving. That means to come into his neighborhood in heaven. And then it says, and his courts with praise. So when you're inside of his courts, when you're there, you're praising and worshiping God. That's bringing God heaven to earth. And then that's when healing starts happening. That's when deliverance happens. That's when the joys of the fruit happen. I want to be in that position like all day to where I feel the presence. You know, some people, when I'm preaching or we're out on the street, they can feel it. Like when the presence of God comes down, they can feel it. They're like, man, what is that? I feel different, you know? But that's when, you know, the healing comes. It's not me healing, it's God healing because he's right there present with us. He's all around us anywhere, you know, anyways. But this is a way to bring them down so you could have heaven on earth. And they're like, well, what does heaven on earth mean? Heaven on earth means that everything it says about heaven hits earth at that point. There is no sickness in heaven. There is no demons in heaven. There's not there's no sorrow in heaven. So you can erase people's trauma. You can erase people's health problems. You can erase people demonic possession problems. You can do all this stuff because now the presence of God is here. Because why? In most churches, if anybody ever went to church, you know, I know a lot of you have. When you go to church, what do? The first thing you know, a lot of people, over 80% of the people that go to church come late and they come like after the music. But the first part of church is music, right? And what kind of music do they play at first? They play like little fast kind of music. And have you ever noticed what they're saying in that music? In the beginning of the music, they're saying, thank you, God. And they're talking about how awesome God is. Those are those songs in the, you know, they probably play one or two of those songs. And then they get into the worshiping part to where it slows down a little bit and you're praising God, you know. And so it's this, that's how when the pastor comes up there, he starts preaching, it's like you start feeling kind of weird. You're like, man, the presence of God is at this church. Well, if you ever been to a church that has the presence of God, a lot of churches that I've been to don't ever get the presence of God around it. All right, here we go. And then it says, give thanks to him and praise his name. Praise his name. Praise his name. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus, for everything today. We love you, Jesus. We honor you. We adore you. We dedicate our life to you. Number 5, for the Lord is good and his love endures forever. His faithfulness continues through all generations. Man, if you guys just know how great God is, just say hallelujah. Just say, thank you, God. I love you, God. Because God is real, it's no game. And when you reach the level to where you know God is real, I just believe that it's a whole new existence for you as a human. So look into this. Psalms 100 is one of the shortest Psalms because it's straight to the point. You know, and that's why I really just love it. Let's go to what we're thankful for, that we can breathe, everybody. We can breathe. Let's go to our holistic trader. Before we start making trades, we need to be whole. Holistic, not the word HOL, but W in the beginning, right? Holistic, a whole, your whole body, mind, everything has to be together to be a trader. Because if not, um, man, it's not going to work as good as you thought it was. So we always start out with box breathing. After we do our first thing, where we give our the glory to God. The second thing is we need to start box breathing. So inhale for 4 seconds, exhale, and you could do this throughout the day because this will also help you in your life. This will also help you in your life, you guys. So go ahead and breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. We also have tonight, we're going to be trading at 7:30 at night with Pablo Profits. And so be ready for that. Sorry if you couldn't find the link. I just looked at the chat and somebody couldn't find the link. Somebody reposted it. Thanks, Chris, for reposting it. This helps, man. This helps you avoid emotional reactions when you're trading. It calms you down. It helps you not to get stressed out when you're trading. When I started trading, it used to kind of do something to my body. Sometimes I would get headaches and stuff because I focused too hard, or how you just want to be in a relaxed mood. This is the simplest thing you'll do in your life to make money, especially since we got our own strategies and everything. You don't have to look at everything so deeply. The next thing is drink water. I had to get my water. Man, drink a lot of water, especially because it's so hot where I'm at. Right now, it's a perfect weather. I got my back sliding glass door open. And it's just real breezy in here. Make sure you drink water. Why? Because 70% of your body is water. My wife's nephew came down here to hang with me. I always do stuff with him. He's 4 years old. And he only likes to drink juice. But he knows Uncle Lonnie doesn't really let him drink too much juice. I always make him drink water. But his family just lets him drink juice all day long, man. And it's man, make sure your kids drink water, trust me. But as a teacher, I found out, the hard way that most kids don't even like water. They like drinking soda or sugary stuff. It's so bad for them. Some of the, sodas dehydrate you, but you got to have water because your brain doesn't even work right without water. So now he comes up to me, it's so cute. He starts pointing to his mouth, and I'm like, "What? Talk to me, talk to me." And then 1 minute later, he's like, "Can I get a juice, a Capri Sun?" It's hilarious. We got to take care of our body better, especially if you have young kids or nephews or nieces or grandkids. You got to be able to guide them to do the right thing with food and water. You know, your body could be a junk machine to where you just eat candy all day, or it could be a great thing for you if you're eating the right stuff. He wanted to go to Panda Express. I said, I guarantee you in Panda Express, he's going to want the worst thing for you. The worst thing you could eat in America, supposedly, there was a survey, is to eat orange chicken. Because orange chicken is super sugary. It has a lot of salt and it's fried. And so that's like the worst combination. And that's what he wanted. He was like, I need to go to Panda Express. And so I let him order and he wanted orange chicken. I already knew. All right, sight. This is something that we really got to take care of. Wherever you're trading at, you need to be able to look around and it not be so cluttered, so packed up with stuff. This is something that wives care about sometimes more than husbands. But just having like your area cleaned out and looking nice. I got these little glass fishes that I've been buying around the world. Every time I see like glass stuff that's made out of like animals in the ocean, I always buy it. So he's like touching all that stuff and he's like, "What is this? Oh, it's a dolphin or a shark." And I got all these little fishes and all these little different things that I buy from each country. Is pretty cool. So have stuff like that that stimulates you, like stuff that's really good. My wife writes little letters to me. Thank you. I love you. You're the best husband. So I just sometimes I put those on the walls and stuff. I need to put them in a frame. But I got like little things that you could buy at even like a Ross or interior places to where it says, one of my things says the best is yet to come. Little key phrases. Follow your dreams. Things like that you can look around and have stuff that's going to progress you and stuff that's going to speak into your future. All right, let's get right to the first thing we always do is come to the news. Because I don't care how good of a trader you are or how good anything. If you don't know what's going on with the news will wreck your trading like nothing other. So we always got to be careful on the news. And there's so much news flying around right now that affects trading throughout the day. It's pretty amazing. I was outside and I always talked to like my neighbors, and some Hebrew Israelites came where I was shopping at like Vons or something. And so they're trying to argue with everybody else. And they asked me, I forgot what they asked me a question. Do I know God or something? I said, yeah, I'm a pastor. They just went right. They asked me where my location was, and they just went right by me because they didn't want that kind of heat. But in that time, I met a woman that was having like a nervous breakdown. So I said, what's wrong with you? How could I help you? And she said that her son got deployed and he's about to hit the ground of Iran, and they're going to start putting troops out there. So it was, I didn't even know that. But Forex Factory looks like it's having a little bit of a problem. Let me try one more time. I just reset my computer. Don't know what's been going on. Let me open up a new. Let me open up the AI bot that tells me the news also. Let's see here. And here we go. We're going to the AI bot, the Beach Trader Assistant. This is in the master membership. And I'm going to say scan the market. Maybe Forex Factory might be down right now. Who knows? This is going to give me all the information I need. Something that takes me, 15, 20 minutes. I can get it really quick. Or is my internet not working that good? I got this thing called Cox Internet in San Diego. And sometimes it's really good. Sometimes it doesn't work. It's funny because there's this one, my AT&T, where I have my phones through. They're in an area that doesn't have AT&T internet, and it only has Cox, and so they're always out of the internet. It's like they have to use their competition. Maybe they just play games with them. But right now we're having a little bit of internet issues. So sometimes you just have to log out, log back in on this Gemini if it doesn't pull it up.
Lonnie,
Yes.
is fiber optic internet good? I literally just switched from cable internet to fiber.
Yeah, I think fiber is better.
Okay,
I think so.
thanks.
Yeah, they don't have that in my area. Okay, here we go. Strongest currencies, USD and Chef, are currently showing significant strength. All right, so it's saying the Goliath is USD, standing firm against global uncertainty. The David is Euro. So the best number one trade in the world, Euro USD. They're telling us to take it right now, and they're telling us to short it, Euro USD, to sell it. So I'm going to look into that. That looks like a good trade. I never even came across um, this assistant ever telling me anything about that combination. But that's the number one trade. It's about 90% of people are trading that only. Let's see. Red folders today. Heavy day for the US. We have core PPI. So the core PPI already happened. Bill probably felt the effects of that. He trades earlier in the morning. Also, that's always when the interest rate comes out. It's a big thing. So we have some statements coming in at 11 a.m. by some heavy hitters. So always be careful when you're trading around those times. Gold today. Gold is a strong sale for the day. Candles, 4-hour candles is a sale. 1 hour is neutral, and 30 minutes is neutral. So right now, we should try to get into a strong uh, sale for a longer period of time. Why would now think about this as a trader? What does this mean? Like the way that I just thought is that USD is strong. They're saying, okay, so USD is on the opposite side of gold. Gold is XAU versus USD. So if USD is strong, it makes super sense that it's going to go down. Gold's going to go down because USD is stronger than it. Right. So we're looking for things right here. We wait for a footprint in the sand. So our sand strategy is saying rejection of 5,030 or 5,060. That's the reef. This means this is a resistance right here. So the resistance is at 5,030 or 5,060. And so that's when we want to get into an entry. And Bill, do you know what gold is at right now?
I surely do. It's a 48.63.
It's way down. So the top is way up here.
Yeah,
Man.
it's dropped, I don't know, $160 in, an hour,
What
hour and a
the
half.
heck? Wow.
I'm
Dang.
happy to share some brief comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first position, um, I've ignored my routine, unfortunately. So my first position, I was up almost by 2%. And I said, oh, wow, cool. I think I can make more. So I didn't exit. And then, it went the different direction. So I ignored, number one thing, the trend is your friend. So I went counter trend, caught a little retracement going up. And then, so the greed, got into me and said, oh, I can do more just in this one trade. Yeah, big mistake. So
Yeah.
then I ended up, negative, losing on that. And then I got into the revenge trade mode, which again is not a good mentality to approach this whole market. And then, subsequent to that, the revenge trading, I had just a series of losses that, just really slapped me in the face. So today has not been good. And then even with that, I didn't confirm with your indicator, positions. And had I, again, used that, again, I was just too laissez-faire
Yeah.
approaching this. I mean, I probably could have captured, $100 going down, but I didn't. So it's,
Do you have this right here, Bill?
have what?
The AI.
No.
Oh, come on, man. I'm gonna send it to you today. Yeah, because this would have gave you a better idea of what's going on. Yeah, that was my dad. I could hear my dad. My dad's 80 years old, and he would say, "Yeehaw!" That's every time I do something that's just like I just go out and just do it without. And my dad always says that to me. He says, "Wasn't it a ride? Wasn't it a wild ride, Lonnie, to do it the wrong way?" Yeehaw!
I mean, that's pretty much so. I mean, my lesson is for everybody is, just when you think, you're smarter than the market. I mean, slap yourself in the face and sit down and just sit on the side and if you've reached your daily goal, just be happy with that and don't chase losses to the point of getting really hurt. So today was a real lesson for me today.
Yeah, that's good that you said a lesson. It's not a losing day; it's a lesson day. That's so true. Yeah, USD is strong, like they said. USD is beating everybody. Look at how much it's beating JPY. Wow, and it looks like it's on a roller coaster ride down on the Euro USD. Look at all this. This is what's crazy about today. So when you started trading, you came with the core. This is the monthly too. This is why you said it moved like $100 and some dollars. This is the PPI monthly. So you got into the market on the monthly and the two monthly interest rates. And look at how it's in the green. So that means it's a good thing. That's why USD is taking off right now. So even the US30 and everything should be really getting killed. Look how many people are talking today for the FOM see. I mean, this is like one of the most red days. I've never seen a day this red of so much news events that can affect trading. That's pretty wild. Yeah, and Japan is beating this is like gold too, so gold is getting really wrecked today. I mean, I wonder if it hit like a good support to where it stopped. Look at this person. He said, gold with no drama. Sometimes you can read these people. Some of these are good. You don't never know unless you follow some of these people. Some of these people, here goes Euro USD only. Shorten it. Look, these people are 12 minutes ago. He's winning, winning, winning. Wow. Yeah, that was a good story, Bill. Yeehaw. My dad always said, he said that to me yesterday. Oh, man. Look at this. Wow. Wouldn't it have been good to get this 15-minute call right here or this one back here? That was at 11 last night. This is at 4:15. Bill, if you would have got this one, that could have made you a lot of money. Let's just say we put $1 on this right here and it went down. We could have made $11,000 with one lot. Wow. Wowzer.
Yeah, that's the point I was trying to make. You know, the indicators, were saying, hey, it's going down. And I basically ignored that, to my detriment.
Jeez. Every time it pulled back, it had that too. If you want to short it, scalp it on 1 minute. Do you have it to where you can go on the 1 minute? Look at this.
I know,
Every time it pulled.
absolutely, yes.
Okay. And now US30 is way at the top. This is gonna look like it's gonna fall. This is a good area to grab US30. Look how it's in a super downtrend. That's on the minute, but yeah. The warpath called it up. I want to grab it right about here to go down. See if it'll go up a little higher. So I like US30 to go down. So that would be a sell. Down means sell, up means buy. Gold, we like it for a sell also, but it's not in a good position for us to sell it right now. I was thinking it would have a liquidity grab and go up and then sell it. So I'm gonna put a alert on this one. So it'll alert me when it comes back to this area where I want to sell it at. Let's see if we can catch anything. NAS100 is almost to where we should take it down. Let's see what's going on with the big guys. Apple started off really low today and it went back up. Now it's almost where it's ended yesterday. So it still says the Apple's down, but look at this. And it went down first really fast. Amazon's down. Nvidia is really doing bad. You could tell, yeah, this is gonna turn around and go straight down. US30 might be good to get in right now and not even wait. Just do like a small lot size trade to go down. What is the best trade out of these three? They're kind of all doing the same thing. Let's see that Euro USD is set to take that down. Let's see where that's at. It's already way down here, but it's good. The warpath called it to go up. It went back up. I would like to take this higher. Everything is where you would expect it to be. So there's no really a great trade right now. That's what I'm trying to look around for, a great trade. Gold has been hit. Mm. We might have to just do scalping today. Really fast trades. I kind of like this Nas. It's in the 5 minutes, but I feel like it's going to go a little higher before it comes back down. All right, let's look at the other perspective of it. These are called the screeners. And what we can see is it's super red on the 500. There's way more red. And that's what your eyes need to be trained to see. Is it more red or more green? The big guys are red on this one also. This is the 30 or the 100, and here's the 30. Yeah, the 30 is super red. So that's all I was saying. We should get in the 30. I want the 30 to go a little higher, but it might just go down from here. And it's okay. The NAS100, almost where we wanted also. And it's okay. We're not missing a trade. It's just these aren't like perfect trades where they're at. Here goes US30 going down. Hopefully US30 goes up higher and you might be able to set up a limit trade. I need this trade to go up $100 higher for it to be a good trade to take down. US30. Man, gold is just really just racing to go down. I mean, where is this trying to go to? Here we go. It hasn't been in this area for a while. So right here, it's at a big support right here. But then there's another one down even further. This still could go down $150 more. Isn't it amazing? Some of the people that were doing so good for 3 months, gold just went up and everybody became a professional gold trader. And now, like, since this day right here, we were on that call. This was our Thursday, the 29th of January. This is when all, you know, hell broke loose right here because it started doing something it would never did before. It never dropped that far. It's still going down. All right, US30 is already going down, down, down. Go just a little higher for us. Here we go with NAS. I'm going to take NAS on a sale. So NAS is NAS100. I'm going to take it on a sale. Let me look into a little bit more. Super red over here. It's kind of like a mixed bag over here. And we just got an indicator. You see that indicator went off for a sale right here on the NAS100. I just seen it pop up. It probably hit the Telegram. Let me take off my share real quick, sign in to my broker. All right, I'm going to take a NAS for a sale. You're not going to use that many lot sizes. Be careful on this one. I'm going to do a 2% stop loss. Don't go too high on your lots because the market is really moving in weird ways right now. So NAS100 for the sale. All right. I'm in it to win that one. All right. Let me show you my screen again. All right. You see this indicator went off right here? This is in my head. It was going to do that. That's why the strategy is in my head. It's already winning. I could actually just get out right now with profit if I want to. I'm going to look one more time. Should I stay in? Should I go? And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to look at the biggest contributors to this trade. So Apple's just went back to like normal what it was yesterday, but it's super huge momentum. Amazon still down. Nvidia's down. Walmart started off so low. Yeah, it looks like everything's in like a pullback. Google is going good today. So for the 100, we need to look at most of our stock trades because they're all in the hundreds. And some of them are looking good. The big guys, you want to look at about 7 of them for the 100, 5 of them for the US30. Let's see here. All right, this is at the top. This is where I got the trade. And we got to wait it out a little bit. Oh, US30 is at the perfect position also. I feel like this is even a better trade to take. US30, let's see. Yeah, US30 is the better trade. Let me go ahead and take that trade too. Go back to my broker and take that one, US30. US30 for a sale. All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of US30 right now, up $4,000. I'm done with that trade. Did anybody take that US30? Did anybody take US30? I got it at this purple line. It went down to like right here, and I got out. Hopefully you guys did. You guys could probably stay in and even get more money than I did. I just got in and got out. I seen all this red. If it goes back up, I'll probably grab it one more time. That was a cool little trade to do. Nobody else got in that US30 and got out. Look, it's back almost at the same spot. We might be able to get it again pretty soon. Let's see. The NAS is a little bit in profit. Let me go ahead and tell you where I got this NAS at. I got it right here. The purple line is always where I got in the trade at. It's a little lower than that. So it's in a little bit of profit, but I'm trying to make more off of that one. So we're in profit. You could probably wait a little bit longer. But the US30, this was good profit for me. This is where about was when I got in at the purple line. I could have got in again because it did just hit that purple line again. It's moving fast down. Is anybody taking any trades right now? The NAS or the look at this US30, you guys. Come on, let's go. Man, who's in that US30? Get out. That's big money. Man. Let's see. That's 62. Remember, on an average day, we want to get about 70 to 100 pips. That's 64 right now. Now it's at 70. So this is where we want to get out at. 100's right here, maybe a little bit more for us. But yeah, possibly you could have got in there 2 times. There it is, US30. I told you that was the better trade. That thing is rocking and rolling. Look at this 100. I'm out of the 100 too. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and stop sharing and get out of this one too. Man, $10,000 is a good trade. Thank you, Jesus, once again for everything you always do for us. Man, love you, God. Thanks. Did anybody take those trades? Chris, you're real silent today.
Yeah, I made a little money with the US30, but then I lost a little with the NAS100. So my
Wait,
point.
how did you lose? You only lose when you get out the trade. And we said to get in right here, brother.
I when I pressed the button, it did like a fluctuation, so I got in kind of like a few dollars in the wrong direction, and then it started going up. I was already negative like $20. I was like, nah, I'm out.
What? What the world?
Yeah, and then I'm a little shook from last night. Also, Lonnie, I took a couple losses on the US30. I actually wanted you to see some time frames to kind of
Is
correct me.
anybody in this trade right here, this US30? Go ahead and get out his super money for us. Oh man, dang it. All right. Well, this is kind of okay. So we wanted to get the gold right here. It went there, but we were too busy with our other trades. But we could have won this trade too. Our entry went off right here. Nobody got in gold for it to go down. Let's see. If you did get in where we talked about getting in at, it's $14 down, you would have made a lot of money. You had one lot, you would have made $1,400 right now. And it's going down further. What a great, this is just a great day right here for us. If it goes back up, we want to get in one more time, maybe, possibly. Oh, let me explain something, because Brandon is a great student, because he's always texting me cool stuff that I could break down to him. And if you guys ever come across something, don't be scared to ask me questions about stuff. So let's see, Brandon. Let's see what we got. Brandon had a question on the 4 hours and 1 hour. Let's go to the Telegram. And let me explain it to everybody. There's videos in the back office about this, in the strategic level and on just the Beast Trader logo one course. But let me break down some stuff for you guys here. Let's see here. Trading view. Let's look at some gold. Bitcoin, a day buy. Wow. When did that happen? 604. I always like the day buys. But you have to have low lot sizes and you got to let it go. Pablo said it the best in our group chat. He was saying, like, when you see a day buy or a 4 hour candle like this buy, that means to lower your lots. And he even said, don't miss out on the trade. Just get in for 0.01 and let it ride for like 2 or 3 days and see what happens. Then that will make you sure that you can put in higher lot sizes later. So trying to see. Okay, so something like this. This was at 4 o'clock, 4:44, 30 minutes, right? But as you notice, right here, it's at 4:44 when the signal goes off. So that means it's already 14 minutes into a 30-minute candle. This is why the time and the time frame really matter. This is what I look at when I first see a trade. Right here, I would just take this trade. If this trade came out 4:30 and it's a 30-minute, that means right on the new candle is telling you to take the trade. This entry is going to be the perfect place for you to get in, perfect time. Everything lines up perfect. I'll just take that trade just off the bat. But some of the, like this trade right here, this is a 15-minute trade and it's at 4:27. That means it's 3 minutes before the new candle. I would wait for the new candle and then take this trade. So you have to look at the time and the candle, what it is. Let's look at that 4 hour one, because sometimes you'll see like a 4 hour candle. Let's see here. How about if you had an account to where you just traded only during the times that I trade? Because like today we won true, yesterday we won two, the week before we didn't lose, right? Since July to February, I took $100,000 account, turned into over $1 million. Like, how about if you just took the trades? Because in the broker on Arion or whatever broker you're using, you can make two accounts. You can put some money in an account just for you to trade. Then you can put some money in an account just to trade with me. And then you can put some other money in an account just for the copy trader and all the stuff that's coming, up pretty soon. But I don't know. I mean, it's fun to learn how to trade on your own with the indicators and everything like that, but I just always like to look over somebody's shoulder
So
and
Lonnie,
just
look at
kind of,
your warpath,
yes.
the most recent one on gold. How would you take that one?
Okay. So this is 60 minutes. It's 42 minutes inside of the candle. So this entry might not even be relevant because it's 42 minutes inside. Even though it's it's gonna do what it does, and it's gonna win. You know, over 85% of the time, the warpath is gonna win. This to me is a trade that might not be the best for me to take, right? Because let me look at the entry, because this entry could really be somewhere else right now because you're 42 minutes inside of a 60-minute candle. So let's just look at it. Right now it's at 4866. So it already went up $30. So what time is it? That was about 9 minutes ago. So it already, let's see. Let's go to the 15 minutes, right? So warpath right here. It took it at 1. The next time it took it at 1, but we're on the 60 minutes. So where did warpath go off? Warpath went off on 4834. So it looks like it already went up. Now, when you seen that go off 9 minutes ago, how much has it went up since then? Because we can tell by going to like the 1 minute candles, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it came right here, or right here. So it did go up right here, went up, you know, what is that, $10? But now it's going down. So it's telling us on the 60-minute candle is the lowest it went was right here. So it's telling us that this is basically the best place to get back into this trade, which we seen when it was down here, it went up really good, right? So you could have still won if you would have just got in and scalped it really quick. But I don't really, there's so many different ones. We don't gotta take this one. 642 is a 60-minute candle. It's 42 minutes in the candle. I would probably bypass this. This looks like a better trade to me. It's at 630 on the dot on the 30. I would probably like to take some of these other trades on the warpath. Like this one right here at 630. It's saying for a buy, but it's on the 630. That means that the candle just opened up and it's telling us to get it at 4861 at 630. Let's see where at 630, where was it at? So 630, it told us to buy right here, and you see it went way up here. So that was a better trade. It opened the candle on that time frame and went up. So it was right here. It opened the candle right here, and then it went all the way up here during that time. So that was a better trade for us. Does everybody understand what I'm saying when I'm talking about candles? How you want to be in the candle at the right timing. And so this is a great trade. Yes, it did win if you were scalping, but it's not the best trade because it's 42 minutes inside of a 60-minute candle.
So why
So
would
you
it
want
come in so late in the hour
no, it's
of
not.
the
It's not.
candle?
No, it doesn't come in late. That's not what's happening.
Okay.
It wasn't a 85% trade at 6 o'clock. See, it became an 85% trade that you're going to win at 642. And what it's telling you is during that whole 60 minutes, what is your best position that you can get in at? The best position is down here. It's not that it came late. It's just that it wasn't the best trade during when this entry happened. It wasn't at the best trading moment for you for this time frame.
That makes
Because this
sense.
comes in, this comes in on nanoseconds. So when you look and you say, okay, the trade is a buy, and the trade is at 4867, it's telling me that the best place to buy is 4834. Well, that's already $30 up. So should you still take the trade? No, it's like it's already did what it was supposed to do on that candle. It's hard. Does anybody understand what I'm saying, or does anybody need further? Because this is the part.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Would I set it up as a buy stop or a buy limit?
No, just a market buy. You're just gonna
Just
buy.
market. Okay.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have a stop loss. Yeah. She came from another academy. They used to give her like 3 of these a day, 3 to 4 of these a day. And we got like hundreds of them. And that's why some people are like they'll send me a screenshot and they'll say, Lonnie, what happened to this one right here? These are 4 different channels of trades. They trade like 100 times a day, each one. So that's like 400 trades. So what you got to do is you got to say, I don't need to take 400 trades. I want to take the trades that are on when the candle starts. So avoid this one, but you could have took this one, this one. These are 15 minutes. Look, a new candle just started at 15 minutes. There goes a perfect trade. Perfect. These are all like lining up. It's like this one is the one that is the one that needs to be avoided. So you got to kind of like look at that. Let's see here. Okay, like this candle right here. This is a 60-minute candle, and it went off at 6:32. So that means it's halfway through this candle. So we would have to look at the entry. So Google 307.88. If we look at Google 307.88. Where is it right now? It's 308. So it's telling you to grab it lower. This still looks like a good trade to me. We're even late on the draw. We're like 26 minutes after it called that trade out. So you have to look at the entry. So for me, I don't have to look at the entry because Apple says a 15-minute candle, 12:15. I know that this entry is perfect because the candle just started. It can't be anywhere else. But like something like this, 15 minutes on, this is 11 minutes inside of the candle that's at 10 o'clock. So it's 11 minutes inside. I got to look and make sure the entry is still good. So you look at the time, you look at the entry, you look at the time down here, and then you decide if you still want to take the trade. But there's so many trades coming in. Don't get stuck on trades, you know? Like right here, this is a 4-hour trade. Well, when did this candle even start? It might not even have started at 4 o'clock. Right? It could have started at, this could be almost 3 hours into the 3 hours and 30 minutes into the candle. So we got to look and say, okay, is this still a good entry? If it's not, then it's okay. It's not saying that the entry came in late. It's just saying that it's not an 80, this is an 82% trade right here, super trend. So it's not an 82% win rate until it got to this time frame right here, and that's when it went off because all those things happened that had to happen, right? So like with the day, the oil on the day, let's just look at this right here because this could be, you go to the day on oil and let's see what it's telling us. It's telling us to buy oil at 427. So where's 427? 427 is right here. Okay. And it's telling us to buy. Is this a good trade right here for oil to buy? Anybody? If we bought oil right here, would it do any? Yeah, it would have did really great. Right? So here it is right here. The day candle is telling us to buy when it hit down here in this area. So it's still going to win regardless if it's into the late candle or anything because it's still like at the perfect spot with everything lined up for you to take the trade. But if you're super inside of a candle and it already kind of went up, it's going to go up some more, but you're probably at a point where you need to start scalping it instead of just waiting a day or 2 or 3 days. Because look, it came down here. It went right back up. You can see it wicked up, and now it's at the top of the candle. This might be a point where you're saying, well, maybe this is too late. It already did what it was going to do. And so I'll look at a different candle to take.
Lonnie, could you help me correct the mistake that I made?
What happened? Yeah, what happened, man?
It's on the same thing. A bot call. Specifically on the US30 last night, kept getting warp paths. I supposedly got them correct time, and I kept losing and losing and losing. Okay, so the first one was at 10 p.m. last night.
This one right here.
And then I'm not I'm not getting the indicators on my trader view for some reason, but I'm getting the text.
Okay.
But I kind of based it on the text anyways. Okay, so called it out at 47,221. I got in. Market kept going up. I lost.
This one right here, US30.
Here, let me go because I'm in my trader view because I have it marked. Okay.
Yeah, that's
And
the
they
one.
called it at 11:15 too. So let's go look at that. US30. $10. Okay, here it is right here.
Yeah.
And it's telling you to sell.
Yeah. It was a sell 47,221. I got in and it's right at 10 p.m.
Then it went up
And then
165.
and then the price went up. It went
Yep.
backwards for me.
Yes.
What did I do wrong?
You did nothing wrong. The indicator is how many times is the indicator going to win out of 10 trades? The warpath is 85% win rate. So how many
Okay.
times is it going to win?
And then I did it again at
I know, but how many times is it going to win out of 10 trades?
I've been really good with the warpaths. They've been very
It's
accurate.
official. No, but it's
Just last
official.
night.
But what I'm
Just last
saying
night
is,
was really
Chris.
bad for me.
No, I'm saying, Chris, how many times is it going to win out of 10 trades? It's an 85% win rate.
And I got that 15% last night. It got me good. Yeah. All the profits from my day
I
went.
love you because I know you know the answer because you're so smart. But if something's an 85% win rate, that means almost 2 times out of 10 is going to lose. So how about if you put all your money on 2 trades that we're going to lose? Isn't that crazy? That would
Yeah, I got
suck.
it again. I got the next warpath at 11:15, same thing. And
Did
then
you
the
take
next
this
one
one
at
right here at 6 o'clock?
no, not in the morning. Just last. I'm so bummed out from last night that I'm afraid to trade right now.
Oh, man. Did you
Yeah.
take this trade yesterday?
What time is it?
This is the warpath. Let's see. Did you take this trade, Chris?
What time? I'm trying to check the time. What
This
time
is
is it?
11:15 if you would have took this trade. US30,
11:15.
11:15. Man, this would have made you so happy you could just stayed in it for 7,000 pips in 7 hours.
During the
11
day, I
because
made some good money. I was ecstatic.
what
And then
about
I
this?
lost.
Did you take this warpath on Wednesday?
I can't even
12
think back
o'clock
that
at
long.
night. This is when you should have stayed up yesterday. This is all going down and it went, wow, that's big money. So let's see. That was a 30 minutes and it hit it right here. And those are 2 losses. But then in the morning, these 2 wins. Let's see. This is a big win.
So is it possible for the Telegram to give me the notification, but it won't come up on the Trader View? Is that common?
Yeah, it will come up, but if it doesn't close out, if it doesn't close out on the candle, it won't stay like that. But it's still 85% you're gonna win. So that's just the 85% win is off basically the trade being called every time in the robot taking the trade every time for the last 2 years. So
Okay,
these are just
perfect. Perfect.
you got trapped in the 2 that lost. And
Yeah,
usually the ones that lose, guess what happens? When it loses, it usually loses on the same one back to back because it's going to tell you the same signal, like it's going to tell you to buy twice in a
that's what
row, like
happened.
right
I
here.
lost back to
Like,
back.
yeah,
Yeah.
but these could have lost back to back, right? Even though these both won, these could have been the 2 that we're going to lose out of 10. But wherever you look back or wherever even if you just go on the Telegram, like right here, this is a bounce right here, right? Unless you got out right here or something, you probably would have lost this trade right here. And so there's gonna be
Right.
trades that lose.
I'm asking questions. I'm learning. I'm still polishing.
Oh yeah, I know. I know, bro.
entries, when to get out. So, I mean, overall, yesterday I did super good. And then I just took one or two bad trades and, lost it off. I'm not trying to discourage anybody, but that, I don't want to just tell the good stories. I want to tell the bad stories also. Just like Bill this morning. He took a loss. I could tell it was hurting him when he was saying it, but
Oh
it's
yeah, oh
okay.
yeah.
Needs to be
But he
talked
did
about.
different. He did different than you. Bill did like my dad says, "Yeehaw!" Right? It's a little
Revenge.
different. That's
He
like
was
when you're
mad
a
at the market.
cowboy and
Yeah, yeah.
you get on that wild horse. That's what my dad means. You get on that wild horse. You got your little cowboy hat on. As soon as you jump on that horse, it takes you for the ride of your life.
Yeah. No, and he seemed so calm, but I was listening to him and I can visualize him punching the computer screen.
Yeah, yeah. That's
All
if
good.
you didn't
All
have the
good.
self control, you probably would have did that for sure.
Hey, Chris, you're just making me laugh. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bill,
yeah.
you punching the computer screen?
No, it's a new screen. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
Good
got over
stuff, man.
that.
But I like to hear those stories too, Bill. So I can feel that, I'm human also. We don't always do great. And that's okay. We
No, you don't always do great for sure. Yeah. Sometimes you're gonna lose sometimes. And it's a lesson, But
Yeah.
if you lose versus the indicators, then I always feel happy. Like the robot, it went on a little losing streak. And I was like, wow, that's kind of wild. But do I turn off the Autobot? No, I feel better when it starts losing a little bit. I say, oh, I already know the next one's gonna win. I already know the next one's gonna win. That's how I think when I take indicator trades. Now, if I just take trades out the blue and I'm just taking trades, then there's no reality for me for it to get better, right? The reality is if something's a 80, 85, 90% win rate, it's like if I take a couple losses in a row, okay, well, let me get back on this thing because the next trades are going to win. That's how I feel in my mind. But yeah, if I'm just like watching it go up and down and taking trades with no method, no strategy, then it's like I don't know what's going to happen. I might keep on losing. I might lose my whole account. But if I'm just waiting, it's not revenge trading when you wait for the next indicator to arrive, right? It's revenge trading when you're trading it to go down and it goes around like this one won, but like let's see. Let's see. So this one right here, let's say I took this trade to buy and it went way down here and I'm like, well, I didn't put a stop loss. It kind of went back. You could have got your money here. But then it started going down here, and I started saying, well, now it's lower. I'm gonna take more buys, more buys, more buys. Then it goes all the way down here, and you can lose your account that way. Right. But if I took this indicator and I lost on a stop loss like right around here, good. Now there's no indicator. I switch the time frame and then I get in right here and I win because it goes down here. But yeah, if you just start revenge trading, I was watching. My dad said me and him used to watch ninja movies on Sunday together, martial arts movies. And I watched another one. It was so funny. It was like 30 people come over to this person's house. I think it was called like American Ninja. And they kill his whole family and everybody, his guards and everything. Then this guy's, comes back home from buying like groceries with no sword or nothing. And he kills all 30 of the ninjas by himself. And it's like, that's how revenge trading looks. It's like you're so mad that you killed 30 ninjas at once that just killed, 50, 60 people really quick. It's like that, it doesn't make sense. In our mind, we might think it makes sense, but in reality, it's just a ninja movie. Or it's like Rambo going in and they got all these POWs that, these war people took, 200 people POWs, but then Rambo, one person can go, all these best soldiers, 200 of them got took over by this group of people, and then Rambo comes in, one person, and kills everybody. Like it just is not reality. So that's why I just wait for the indicators. I got in right here. I waited for the next indicator. I got in. Both those won. So it's more of like, can we be patient just to wait on the indicators or not? You know? Like right here, if we were just taking, let's just take off everything except for the warpath, right? So if I was just taking warpath today on, let's just go to gold, okay? So since we've been trading is right here. If I would have just looked at the 1 minute, this one right here, I could have got out with profit. These two got out. These two went up here, could have got out. This one right here, I could have waited a while, got out. I mean, every trade on the warpath one right here on the 1 minute. Then I go to like the 5 minute and I want to see two. So here we go. This one lost. If I would have took this trade and didn't get out the next candle, it would have been a loss. This one won. This could have been a loss too. So you look at 3 trades on here, you could have lost those. You know, you go back in history, you would have won this one, you would have won these two. All right, let's go to a different time frame. Let's go to 10 minutes. So we've seen 2 trades that lost on the warpath. Here goes another one that won. These two won. These two won. Here goes one right here. Yeah, we could have got out up here or we could have waited. So those won. So every time frame we're gonna catch some L's.
That's what I'm trying to figure out right now, Lonnie. Also,
Uh-huh.
it's like, how long do you hold on to the trade? That's what I'm trying to pick up right now. Um, when to know, okay, market's just completely bad, or it might come back. That's what I'm trying to figure out right now.
Yep. Okay. So the way that you want to stay in a trade, if it's going in the trend, because the trend is your friend. So if it calls out on a telegram, right? Check this out. Let's see if it even did it right here. Okay, the warpath doesn't tell you that, but let's just say we're on a trade like this. It says buy. Okay, there's a 4-hour uptrend, 100% uptrend. There's a day candle uptrend, 100%, right? It's telling us to buy for the day. This is a trade that you would probably want to stay in for a long time because the trend is in the same direction as what you're. Now, this one right here, this is an uptrend for 4 hours, 100% downtrend for an hour. This is something that you might want to stay into this trade right here for a sell. You know, this is a sell right here. The uptrend and downtrend is kind of a mixed signal. But when you get it to where both of them are going in the same direction, see, there's mixed signals. The indices are mixed signals today. So let's just see if we look at like a gold.
And I have one
Okay,
final
right here. So
quick
this
question.
gold right here, look at this. This is like a great trade. 430 is saying 15-minute candle sell. Okay, but for the 4 hours, it's in a total downtrend. For the 1 day, it's in a downtrend. Now, if we go to this 427, this to me is like, that's why I put that on the bottom. That's like a great trade for me. I like. So that's 427 is right here. And look what happened. This is a trade, Chris, that you want to stay in. Wait, where's 427?
That's fine. That's what I'm learning right now, and I'm checking the 30 minutes, 1 hour, 4 hours, and then sometimes it's uptrend, sometimes it's downtrend, and I'm polishing that.
Yes. So when it
This is
says
good.
both of them together like this right here,
Yeah,
15 minutes downtrend.
that's when you hold on a little bit.
Yeah. Have you ever
All
been
right.
in a trade that lost 20 or 30% of your account or more?
Once.
Okay.
Once.
That's good. You know why that's
Hurt.
good? I mean, raise your hand if you ever lost 30, 40% on one trade. Raise your hand. Good. Well, why are you saying that's good, Lonnie? That was the worst day of my life. Well, guess what? Because you
That's a
lost 20
blessing.
or 30%, guess what? Now you know that you could have took the trade the other way and you could have won 30 or 40% on the trade. So now I'm asking you, if you lost that much, what's making you not take a trade the other way and winning that much? Chris, have you ever won 20 or 40% on a trade?
I've also won a lot. Yeah.
There you go. So
Yeah.
let's be on the winning part of that. Well, how do we get on the winning part of a 30 to 40% trade and only lose 2%? Because then you could lose. I mean, if you're on a 20% trade, that means you could lose 10 trades in a row, losing 2%, and you're still up. We got to be on the trend. We got to take a trade that's on the trend. And it's beautiful when you're on the trend. Like, you know, a trade like this, if we would have got a signal to take this trade down right here, and it's in this, downtrend from up here, you can see it's going lower and lower. That's a great trade. We can see on the 4 hours that this thing is from here, from Tuesday, the 10th, it's been going down. So if we get, you always look at the 4 hours and you look at the day. So from the 3rd of March has been going down. So now we know that gold is in a downtrend from the 4 hours and one day. Well, guess what? There's still people trading gold to go up. There's still people right now, even though it's been on a downtrend since the 3rd, there's still people trading gold to go up all the time by themselves with no indicators, no strategy. They're just saying, man, it's going to go up. No, that was right here, you guys. That was during this 3-month time span when it went up for 3 months in a row. And so don't let the 3 months of it going up fool you. It's actually in a downtrend now. So now you want to be on taking trades down. If your strategy is a scalp, you want to scalp going with sales on gold right now. It's switched on the 3rd. And it's been on a total downtrend since the 11th. All red bars for the day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row that the market's been going down. This is when it was in consolidation, but now it's in continuation from the downtrend that started right here.
I spoke to Manny yesterday, the gold trader.
Yeah.
He's slowed down a lot, but he's
I
still
wonder
doing
why,
really
Chris.
good. Even with the bad market, he's still doing really good. So
No, but I'm saying, is it a
that
bad
motivates.
market, or was he doing mostly buys? When we went over and we studied together, he was mostly doing buys. Remember, he was like, I could just take a buy and the market will go back,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
So if he
So
switched his strategy, if he just knew on the day and the 4 hours everything's in a downtrend, he could have still been trading the same way, but just trade more sales.
yeah, he just adjusted it and he's still doing good. So that's great. That's
Yep.
good stuff.
Yeah, it's great.
And my last question, Lonnie, let me get this in
Uh-huh.
real quick because I my son's waiting for me, taking to
Yeah, I
school.
gotta go too. I gotta get my nephew up.
Is it normal? Yesterday I took a Bitcoin trade. I got a bot call and took it. Market went to my favor tremendously. I was like, I was excited, but I only made like $5. It doesn't let me trade more. Is that normal?
Yeah,
My lot
because
size.
yeah, the lot size on Bitcoin is going to be the craziest one because there's a big spread. So if you put too much lot size, you could basically drain your account by just getting into the trade. A lot of people don't trade Bitcoin. Like all the other 20 things that I trade, there's people around the world that are trading it like crazy. Bitcoin isn't one of those that like real traders are trading all the time. It's more of like the younger traders. There like what I'm saying is like the big, things are doing like ETF type tradings with Bitcoin. They're not just trading Forex on Bitcoin. So, and like Ethereum too, if you get into Ethereum, Bitcoin, or you get into silver, you'll see there's a big spread because everybody's not trading these three. The other ones, everybody trades on the Forex level. But so that's why you can get a margin call if you trade too much on Bitcoin. Right. And then there's fees on Bitcoin that are super high. Let's say it cost $8 a lot. So that means if I trade XAU USD for one lot, I'm gonna be charged a commission of $8 every time I do that. On mostly everything, it's gonna be an $8 commission. So on Bitcoin, you might have a $30 commission per lot. So it might cost you, almost 5 times as much to trade Bitcoin. So that's if you trade Bitcoin, you need to be in the trade for a long time. Bitcoin isn't a trade that you could scalp. It's a trade that you got to stay in for like, hours and hours or days.
It's not
Bitcoin.
my favorite market either. I just, it looked good and I jumped on it, but it won't let me put more than a 0.02 lot. And I was like, that's weird. It's very
Yeah.
little.
So with Bitcoin, man, I'm getting it so the broker doesn't even let you trade on the weekends right now. He's especially doing stuff just for our group to let us trade Bitcoin on the weekend. That's the only time you want to trade Bitcoin is when the market's closed. you get the little itch on Saturday or Friday night, and you trade Bitcoin because everything else is closed. But yeah, Bitcoin isn't something you want to trade in the day because it's the worst trade to trade because it costs the most and it's just not a good thing for you.
Lonnie, could I ask you a
Yeah.
question while we're talking about
Yes.
trends? If you go
Yes.
back to Telegram and you're trading these signals from
Hmm.
4 or 5 p.m. yesterday, this was
Yes.
the day buy for gold,
Uh-huh.
and you and I chatted. I took it, went the right way for a little bit, but then while I was sleeping, obviously went the other direction, even with my smaller lot size. Should I have paid more attention to the 4 hour and the daily? Because they were both saying
Um,
downtrend, but yet we got that day alert.
yeah, that could have been a pullback. It could have still worked out for you, but he's not awake. Oh. Yeah. So sometimes, yeah, I would have looked at that. I didn't take that trade, obviously, but yeah, I would have looked and seen what the trend is. Remember, I was telling you my programmer was like, man, why do you want this down here, Lonnie? This is something that's new on the Telegram. He was like, this is gonna confuse people. But this is what I look at. I always look at the day in 4 hours. And if I get like a long-term trade and it's against the trends of the bigger time frames, I just look for another trade. There's no reason. I mean, this says a buy Bitcoin uptrend right here. This looks like a good trade, 604, but it could have possibly went the wrong way also. Let's see, 604, 604 is right here, and it called out a day and it went down what, $400 more. I would have had a stop loss that was longer than this, but if you look at the day in 4 hours, it's been going up. So it just broke the SMA right here. So now it's not 100% uptrend anymore. So this might be a pullback and it might turn into continuation. Something like that, I would ask the robot. I would say, I would take a picture of this right here. I would screenshot it and then I would go to the robot, put the screenshot in, and
So on the day trend, is that from like midnight to midnight our time, or how do you factor
it's
that?
it's universal time.
Okay.
So I think it's called GTM time or something. Okay, so then I'll ask right here, Brandon. I'll say, is this a good sand or wave trade? And that's the only reason why I would take a long term trade like this, a sand or a wave trade, and it'll tell us, is it going to go into continuation? Is it in pullback? Like what's going on with this? So while many are looking for a reversal, the global tide is currently ebbing, downtrending. Price has been making a series of lower highs. Lower highs falls from, let's see. So correction phase happened. The verdict is to wait. So it told me to wait, so I wouldn't take this trade. Right. And then what do I wait for? There's all of this announcement at 11 o'clock. So don't take the trade yet. It's telling me, right? I'm looking for this time right here. Okay, let's look at. So that's it. It just told me to wait. So what would I do? I would wait. So I do stuff like this now. Instead of me having to look and see if something's a perfect trade, I just take a snapshot of it and say, is this good trade for us to take? Is it not? It's saying to wait after those people talk in the news. It takes everything under consideration. Now, I just forgot in my mind that the news was going to come at 11 o'clock. I totally forgot after we looked already, right? But this doesn't forget and it tells us good information. So I believe like that's a game changer to be able to talk to the AI. Like this gold right here, right? It's telling us to go up. Like, is it gonna go up right here? Or is it gonna continue to go down? So I'll take a screenshot of this and I'll ask the robot. And I'll say, what should I do with gold? This isn't even a prompt. It's just a prompt I just made up right now, right? Just to see what it would do. But what I should ask it is, I should ask, is this a good sand trade or wave trade? So I don't know what just happened. Maybe I have to refresh. Okay. So if I take that gold trade, and this is something, why not do this every time before I take a trade? I mean, it makes sense. Is this, let's just ask again, is this a good sand or wave trade? Then I can put also, is it at resistance or support? So that's what we want to know before we take trades anyways. So let's just see what it's telling us. So based on the shoreline protocol, psychological level. So the wave trade right here. This happened. The phase 2 is price is currently coiling, pulling back slightly. We don't want to do a trigger yet on the wave trade. Let's see if the sand trade is a good one. This is not a good setup yet because we are in the sea foam before a massive storm. So the storm's going to come from this news event, and it's not either in resistance or in a good support area. So it's saying don't take the trade right now. So right now, gold, according to the AI, don't take any trades. Wait for the news to come out and then start taking trades. So, look at this right here, the trades we took. I'm trying to tell you guys, if you guys look, this indicator came off, but already had where we should get in at. Then the indicator came off and gave us a double confirmation, and we could have stayed in this trade. And look what happened. It went straight down. That was the trade we won on. Then we took NAS100. What happened? Same thing. It went straight down. Already had the position we should take it. The robot, the indicator went off too and told us the same thing. It went straight down. Those are two beautiful trades. Why trade anything else during the time that we're trading together, but the two trades that we took? Love you guys. You guys have a good one. Send me anything you guys need. If you guys have any friends that want to talk to us about joining, that's great. If you guys have any problems with the broker or trying to put in money or trying to do anything, me and Brandon are always here for you. We'll dedicate time with you guys to show you broker stuff or how to put money in. We're always here for you. We might be tied up with our family because it's spring break, but we'll text you back and tell you what time. So if anybody wants to do like a one-on-one, just tell us what you want to do a one-on-one with. Go to the WhatsApp group. Also, we're trying to move everybody over to Telegram. It's a more safer community than WhatsApp. A lot of people have been getting just random messages from WhatsApp, not from our group, but just we just want to make you guys safe. So we'll be changing over in the next 2 weeks. Everybody will be coming over to Telegram. God bless. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.